Right, some live training with Dexter. So Dexter is a lead puller. His owner walks him typically on the lead that he's on now, plus another bungee lead, so that he's not pulling her as much. And like fairly typical with like most dogs I see, the essentially we've got an animal at each end of this lead, and one of the animal teaches the other animal that they need to be sensitive to lead pressure, and they need to understand that when they feel lead pressure they've gone too far, or that we're changing direction. And typically the people that I see, the dog has trained the human that they need to follow them on the lead. What we're teaching Dexter is the opposite. So you need to be sensitive to the pressure that I put on the lead, and you're going to follow me and the lead. So what I'm doing here is sensitizing him to that lead pressure by getting him to perform a behaviour that he already knows. So he knows how to sit, so I'm putting lead pressure on the lead, and I'm asking him for a sit, and I ask him multiple times to give him a clue to the question that I'm asking, and then when his bum goes down the lead pressure comes off, and I mark it, yes, food. So pressure goes on, sit, dog sits, lead pressure comes off, and I mark and reward. So the way we would scale that is we would stop giving the clue. So I would stop saying to him sit. I would just put the lead pressure on, and then he would put his bum down, and then the lead pressure would come off. And then we've got a dog who's nice and sensitized to there's pressure on my collar, and I know how to turn that off myself. So basically they learn to turn it off themselves. I'm also mixing in some changes of direction, and I do some turns into him, so you can see every so often I'll kind of walk to my left, so the dog's always on my left and behind me, and I'll walk into him. So he has to turn his body independently. You can see he's getting all excited. He's giving me some fancy footwork, which I don't train, but I'll take it. He gets a bit overexcited sometimes. He was actually nipping at my shorts there because he was like more. But you can see I'm just chucking in a couple of those little sits with pressure. I also do just some changes of direction. So I'll say like a this way, add the lead pressure, and then when he comes with me, I'm going to mark it and reward it because he's followed the lead. This can also help when your dog is pulling ahead of you, because you can get the lead nice and flat and you can move it in a backwards direction. You can say back, or you can just move the lead. Once they're nice and sensitive to the pressure, they should just then follow that lead. There's a few other little tricks that I use, especially with dogs who are kind of persistent pullers, which might be that I'll kind of use that lead pressure, and I'll also walk backwards away from the thing that they were so desperate to pull towards, so they actually lose access to the thing that they were desperately pulling me towards because of the way that they pulled me towards it. And I'll just try it again and again and again until they do it in a calm manner. But we don't do much of that in this one because we're in a low distraction environment. And like I say, this is truly first session, just getting him to know where the position is that he gets the most rewards, which is obviously in that quadrant of space on my left hand side and behind my toes. And like I say, sensitivity to lead pressure. When you feel lead pressure, it means you either need to do something to release it, or that you've gone too far ahead of me and therefore you need to correct the position that you're in. He gets it really nice and quick. Not all dogs will do this. I know it can be frustrating to watch these videos and see someone walking a dog on a loose lead after 10 or 15 minutes training, and you see I'm just mixing in some stops there. So I'm walking, I stop, the dog stops. Little sit in there as well, nice. And then when I'm ready to go again, so I carry on feeding him here, so I'm giving him multiple rewards for staying in position, and then when I'm ready to go again, I say let's go, and he follows me. So yeah, my point being about it can be frustrating to watch people do this super easily, and for more persistent pullers or dogs that are maybe 5-6 years old and have always pulled on the lead, or have walked on flexi leads where they're rewarded for pulling, this can take a little bit more time. There can be some more boundary work that you need to do to build this position, but if you do it in the right way and you get the dog motivated, like I say, you can make loose lead walking fun. I think there is a bit of a narrative going on at the moment that all dogs should be off lead, and if they're not off lead, then it's like miserable, and I agree, dogs need off-lead freedom, but I also don't think that teaching loose lead needs to be a boring thing. I think they can get quite into it. And as you can see, he's much quicker now to respond to the lead pressure. This one took a little bit of time. A quick note on putting dogs into a sit: you typically teach a dog to sit with them in front of you, so often you'll need to recreate that picture for them to do it. Hopefully that helps.